There was a woman in Monsey, an Isha Chashuva, Mrs. Chana Tabak, a remarkable woman, and my wife and I would go visit her when we had the opportunity because we were close with several of her children and we always enjoyed listening to her. A woman of such wisdom, a woman of such heart, a woman of such humor. Just really a pleasure. After she passed away, one of her grandchildren told me that how his grandmother, but how Mrs. Tabak, Allah Shalom, suffered Parkinson's. She endured Parkinson's. She was in a wheelchair, Rahman al-Islan. And then after that, she also lost her eyesight. She was blind, Rahman al-Islan. And he asked her, Baba, how do you handle this? So she said, you know, when I lost my mobility and I couldn't get around anymore, so I said, okay, the Rebbeinu Shalom wants me here for a reason. And if I can't walk and I'm still here, then me is a lot bigger than being able to walk. Whatever he wants from me doesn't involve walking, clearly. So now I know that me also doesn't involve seeing. I thought it did, but I have a tafkid. I'm here. So my me is bigger than both of those things. Besides being an extraordinary perspective, but here the positive side of it as well. That means if you can't see, then the Rebbeinu Shalom wants you to see. Then your me involves seeing. Imagine we could train ourselves before we looked at anything to ask ourselves, is this the reason that the Rebbeinu Shalom gave me the ability to see? You know, a very sharp knife that you use to slice meat. If you're going to use it to crack nuts or to open a bottle of beer, you're going to dull the blade because that's not what it's made for. Your vision is made for something. Once heard from somebody who was a big sports fan. He was really obsessed. He was addicted to baseball. And the Yankees were in the playoff, his team, and he couldn't miss a game. And he was going to a chasana. But there was a playoff game that night, and he was very torn about how he was going to go to the chasana. It was a close friend, and someone told him in the hotel where the chasana was being held, there was like a bar in the lobby, and there's a television. So in all the chasana, you'll go, you'll make your way in between innings, you'll do a little dancing, and you'll make back. You won't have to miss a single pitch. Great. He enjoyed the chasana, he enjoyed the game, everything was wonderful. The next night there was another game, and his roommate said to him, aren't you going to listen to the game or to watch the game? And he said, no, I'm done. He said, you're done? So he says, I'm not a fan anymore. I'm done with baseball. So he says, what happened? So he says, I was watching the game at that chasana and I was enjoying it. When I went back into the lobby for the chasana, one of the great contemporary Rosh Yeshiva was there, Rabbi Bachtzweigel, Shlita to a yeshiva in South Fallsburg. Rabbi is a lichtige yid, is a radiant man, his face shines. He said, I looked at him, and when you see somebody who is Amal and Torah, a heilige yid, a person who's been learning Torah for so many years, it has an effect on you. And it had no effect on me. I looked at Rabbi Yehuda's face and I was cold. And it made me realize, I just watched baseball for an hour and a half. I looked at Rabbi Yehuda, it didn't feel the same way. I'm not using my sight the way it's meant to be sight. I don't want to cheapen my sight. If Mrs. Tabak taught us that a person who Rahman al-Islan can't see, it's because the tafka does not involve seeing, then someone who can see. Those of us who are so fortunate to be able to see, the Rebbeinu Shalom who's Pekeach Ivim allows us to keep on seeing, then we're given that gift for a reason. Shouldn't we teach ourselves to really see?